Yo, Pen Friends! Happy Tuesday. It is time for another needlessly long-winded update video announcement thingy. What's new, you ask? And I will attempt to tell you that in a very succinct and entertaining way. First of all, I can't even say that with a straight face. The first thing I made some notes today, so I'm going to try that out. My first bullet point is that the Rascals are live on the 42 Hamsters marketplace as of today. So that's fun. All 66, is that it? I think it's 66 Rascals are up there. They're animated. They're available for, I think it is at 0.4, whatever, $10, right around $10. Whatever the soul equivalent of that is, that's where our animations tend to live at that price. Which recently that's changed quite a bit, which is kind of fun. I hope some of you made some money. I hope that lots of the Rascals holders scoop the animated version of their Rascals, and I hope they love them and share them, and it's just a huge win across the board for both Pen Frens and the Rascals and 42 Hamsters, of course, and all of you as well, since we all stand to gain from that type of thing. I will say that so far the marketplace has been disappointing in terms of the sales, our plan, our genius plan, was that we would unveil ABCs, OK Bears, Jelly Rascals, launch them on the marketplace, and the revenue generated from that would keep us going for 2 or 3 months and would allow us and free us up to where we could do a lot of Pen Frens development and sort of move forward on all of these different things that we have wanted to do and started to do on the Pen Frens side of things. And that was the plan, and the plan has been sufficiently derailed by poor sales in the marketplace. And so, as is typically the case, we have to make some adjustments and pivot, and that's all good. It is a learning experience. I think we have to look at why did not that many people purchase the animated OK Bears, for example. And our feeling, anyways, it really comes down to 3 things, which is lack of trust, lack of awareness, and lack of utility. So those are the 3 areas that we're looking to shore up and improve upon in further future offerings. In terms of the lack of trust, this is just a reality of being a third-party site that's where it's a token gated thing that's asking you to connect your wallet. It's scary for people, especially people who have an NFT of value in said wallet, like an OK Bear. And in that scenario, like, the team is constantly telling them, don't ever do that, right? The messaging is always keep your bear in your ledger, don't connect your ledger to third-party websites. Meanwhile, that's exactly what we're asking them to do. So I think we thought maybe there would be more of a push in terms of projects to say, hey, these guys are okay, you can try, they're not going to drain you. And also more of a push in terms of helping us build that awareness. And maybe that was naive on our part, but I think if they don't have skin in the game, if they didn't pay, if they weren't partners in this from a financial point of view, they just don't really care. At the end of the day, it's kind of our thing, and they don't stand to benefit from it monetarily, so they can't be asked to participate more than whatever they did. So I think that was disappointing, if I'm being honest, and I think it's on us to increase the level of trust and increase the level of awareness out there. And then also, as I mentioned, the utility, because, going from static to animated, it really only gives you a flex, and probably only one time. It's like you post on Twitter or occasionally on Discord, but it doesn't have like a sort of like a daily impact on what you can do. It just doesn't give you enough. And that's why we've been saying it for a while, that we want to move to, sticker packs. The idea of receiving a collection of animations that would be like a GM animation and an LFG, and they're all individualized to your NFT. So you end up with 4 or 5 animations, and maybe even like some phone wallpapers and things like that we can generate that are static, Twitter banners. It's like a whole package that is all these pieces for your NFT. It comes in one, as soon as you make that purchase, comes in one download, and you have all of these materials, which is like much more interesting than just one animation that's your bear kind of coming to life, or your rascal, or whatever. So we see that sticker pack. We always did see that sticker pack as sort of the way of the future. We thought there would just be more interest, and maybe there is more interest than we've seen, but we're being held back by the lack of trust and the lack of awareness, because we are new. We don't have huge traffic. Pen Frens holders know about us, but we're a small group, really, in relatively speaking. And so one of our thoughts has been, should we think about the marketplace differently? Should the marketplace, the 42 Hamsters marketplace, should it be integrated within a larger marketplace? Because that would give us immediate trust and immediate awareness and traffic, quite frankly. Imagine if you were on a major marketplace right now, like Hyperspace, who we've spoken to about this, and you purchase an OK Bear, and upon purchase you are prompted with, hey, there's an animation available for this for 0.4 Sol, for example. And because you're within that ecosystem already, where you've already connected your wallet, you've connected with the wallet that has that bear in it, you're already trusting that site. I think it's a much smaller leap, and I think within that framework we could do a lot better. And especially when it happens at the time of purchase, it feels more like, how Amazon prompts you for, hey, you just bought this, what about these other 3 things? And they're always cheaper than whatever you just bought. It's an add-on purchase. And I think that probably the future of these animations is within a system like that. And they might need to be minted and be SFTs, and we're looking at that. We have to just do what we've always done, which is like take sort of any disappointments in stride and figure out, okay, we could just blame other people for what they did or didn't do in the situation, but that doesn't help us at all. So we have to look at our what we can control, our own offerings, and make them better, and find a better way to deliver them to customers. The reality is that the marketplace works great. It looks nice. We have not been able to generate, to this point, trust and awareness. And that is something that we could just build over time organically. And as we have more and more collections, and then people go there, like when the Rascals holders find out about this and they go there, and some of them may own a bear and some of them may own an ABC, and they may find themselves picking up one from each or whatever. And over time, like, you can see this grow organically. But I think there's a way to sort of potentially turbocharge that action, which would be as an integrated service within one of the larger marketplaces. And we may, as we start to dabble heavily in the ETH market, we may find ourselves in that situation as well, which is has even more upside, I think. So it's like, as much as it sucks to look at the sales of the marketplace and say, man, that we spent months on those things, and we spent a lot of money. I mean, some cash, but also like just opportunity cost of time spent on something that was a bit of a risk, and we knew that. But at the same time, the disappointment of that and the knowledge of, okay, that didn't work, and here's why we think it didn't really work. That has led us to investigate some other opportunities, which I think are potentially better. So, you win some, you lose some, I guess. And I really like the potential of where that could go in terms of being part of a larger marketplace ecosystem, both in Solana and really any other chain. That was part of the purpose of 42 Hamsters being chain agnostic, was to have that opportunity. Speaking of which, we are working quite a bit these days on samples for ETH projects, and we're really trying to crush them because we want to get into that market. The conversations that we have with Solana projects are almost 99% about price. Everything is about price. And we've experimented lately with, quoting some projects on much lower than we normally do, just to see, like, to the point where it's not really worth doing, but like we want to see where they would say yes at. And in a lot of cases, it's 100% not worth it. And I'm not even sure like people on Fiverr would do it for what these projects want to do it for. So conversely, on the ETH side, our conversations with projects there in these last 3 weeks focus almost solely on quality and sort of like the overall delivery time and approvals and things like that. Price, not a problem. So we'd much rather be in that realm where the challenge for us is to deliver something really, really good, as opposed to for Sol projects right now, which is like, can you deliver something really, really cheap that doesn't totally suck? So yeah, I wish I had more concrete news about, and that I'd kind of been delaying this video because I wanted to have concrete news of in terms of an update of another collection that we are going to fully animate. I don't have that, and I didn't want to keep delaying it, but I am very optimistic that there will be a first domino on the ETH full collection prepaid side of things. And I think based on the work that we've been doing so far on it, that it's going to be pretty amazing. It'll be the best one we've done so far by a long shot, and I think we've kind of improved as we've gone on, and I think this will be a huge step up. And I think it'll be a foot in the door on the ETH side, which as I've mentioned is just a different world in terms of the economics. And I'm not saying we can charge way more. We can't. That's not realistic, but we'll just have far more customers. And then the challenge for us then will be, can we scale up? Can we do 4 a month? And then from there, can we get to 10 a month, and so on and so forth. So that first domino, I think we're really close. I think it could be a really huge turning point in the story of Pen Frens, and I think that's pretty exciting. So again, even that came out of when we we animated a Valhalla, that's a popular collection on ETH, and we put it out there and it got several thousand views. But more than that, it caused a lot of ETH projects to reach out and to start, a conversation, as well as a marketing firm with deep ties on ETH, and that we have been speaking with about sort of a partnership where they would offer our services as part of their overall plans. And that's interesting to us because the ETH world, we're not connected in that space, and it would be nice if really promising leads or even closed deals were just brought to us based on our price structure, and we could just focus on making cool animations. Yeah, we're optimistic about that as well. One thing I did forget to mention that is on the Solana side is a messaging app coming out called Dialect, which is pretty cool. It's completely Web3 friendly, and the idea is that you can approve transactions within messages and notifications. Anyways, that's pretty neat. It's just and you've probably seen sort of like the heads of Solana have been pushing that, and it has Solana Mobile. Obviously is a part like Saga, although it will be iOS and Android. But it's an interesting thing, and part of what they want to do is mint animated sticker packs, and so stickers within the app will be NFTs or maybe SFTs. I'm not really sure, but so we've been speaking to them about partnering up there and doing some animated sticker packs. It's a potentially huge business, because if we made a sticker pack that became popular outside of Web3, there's a huge Web2 market for animated stickers. Something like $300 million annually in Asia alone is spent on animated sticker packs within messaging apps. So there's some upside there as well in terms of, hey, we made something cool. Can it travel? And maybe some will, and maybe some won't. But it's nice to have something that has that kind of upside. I also want to quickly update you on Camp. Camp is a little bit in the same realm as Pen Frens, where it's like we're not in a position where we can backburner paid work or put off paid work or reject it. We just can't do that right now. If someone comes along and has a paid job for us, we take it, and we push our own things, our own development back, just because we're not comfortable enough financially to do it the other way around. So that's just the reality of it. We are working on Camp whenever we have time. Camp is going to function sort of as a rewind. It's currently being referred to as Camp Solana Recut. And there will be a resurrection mechanic that you will have to complete. It will be free, but only resurrected campers will be part of the next iteration. If you aren't paying attention or couldn't be bothered doing it, you won't be in it. So obviously we have to make this in such a way that people who are FUD feeders, and there's a number of you that hold many campers, which is great, and we don't want to punish you for that by making you complete this process 159 times. So the way it will work is that only resurrected campers will participate, and camp will function similarly to how it did before, except it'll happen in a compressed timeline. And how often we run it, we're not sure. We'll see what the interest level is. If people want to do it quite often, we will. And if they don't really want to, we won't. But the idea is that it will be a progressive jackpot. So instead of 700 Sol, which was raised last time with mint funds, What really it was all of the mint funds. In future versions of the camp, it would be progressive jackpot based on the money spent. This really achieves two goals, one of which is that sort of the pot scales with participation, which is how it should be. And also it means for us that we're not taking on unnecessary risk by running camp and having potential to lose a significant chunk of money by running camp and guaranteeing a pot size prior to beginning, which would just be a dumb move for us at this point. So that's how that would work. There'll be more details coming about that soon. We're working on it whenever we have a chance, but paid work takes priority, as I've mentioned. Until we're in a position where we are sitting on a healthy treasury and can do that internal development that we're dying to do. But camp's not far away, as you know, is already mostly done, and there's just some upgrades being done. There's a new map, there will be some new art, and maybe a couple other features. So we're not far away on that. We just need to put some of these other things, some of the other paid jobs to bed, and then we can get to that. So anyways, yeah, I really droned on, as I do. You're welcome. Appreciate all you guys. We're closing in on 1 year, which is pretty nuts. And we have a couple goals that we would like to hit, and I'm pretty confident we're going to get there. They're just sort of like 1 year. I would say they're more symbolic, but still important. So as we get closer to that, I'll probably explain that a bit more. But appreciate all of you for sticking with us through thick and thin. And I'm always optimistic about the future of Pen Frens, but I think some of the developments of the last month or so, some of the trials and tribulations have turned us towards a path for even greater success, which is kind of the way things tend to work. But at the time, they definitely don't feel like that. You just got to kind of keep grinding. So that's been our mindset since we launched, is to keep on the grind and make adjustments as necessary. That's what we're going to continue to do. Big things ahead. So as always, love you guys. Pen Frens for life.